What is a concussion? Is it when your head hurts? Is it when you bang your head and get dizzy? Well, according to Google, the first two definitions that pop up from looking up define concussion is temporary unconsciousness caused by a blow to the head and a violent shock as from a heavy blow. Emphasis on blow to the head. When the brain experiences a blow to the head, the brain jiggles or shakes inside the cranium, which causes the symptoms of a concussion to occur. Concussions are common among high-contact sports such as football, rugby, and wrestling. The book I chose was League of Denial, a book that explains how concussions became so prevalent in the NFL around the early to mid-2000s. A doctor by the name of Bennett Amalu did extensive research on concussions from injured and retired NFL players and how more research needs to be done on the human brain. Former and current NFL players would be concussed and not even know it. They might have gone to the sideline for a drive or two and came back in to play the remainder of the game. Due to the lack of research, they thought this was okay. When Dr. Amalu decided to research this unknown epidemic across the league, CTE surfaced. CTE is a term used to describe brain degeneration likely caused by repeated head traumas. These retired NFL players thought they were going insane because they didn't know what was going on inside their head. Once this research surfaced, the players found their answer. Now, I'm not saying that if you get a concussion that you will get CTE when you're older. But these NFL players, such as Junior Seau...
Word of a mysterious death, an apparent suicide by a powerful athlete, a force of nature on the football field. NFL great Junior Seau, 43 years old, dead of a gunshot wound to the chest. His mother in shock tonight. And his football colleagues are asking, is this somehow another example of that legacy of the punishment players take on the field?
Mike Webster and Dave Duerson had been experiencing the same and recurring symptoms: constant confusion, mood swings, and violent outbreaks. On a regular basis throughout the duration of their careers, these players were getting constant blows to the head, and now it's coming back full circle. It was because they were concussed. Unfortunate turns of events took place where all the athletes listed took their own lives. Concussions affect every one of our dimensions of health. Our physical health is affected because we often become dizzy and sensitive to light and sound. I myself have had 3 concussions: 4th grade, 8th grade, and 9th grade. 2 were minor and 1 was serious. All 3 times, I was sensitive to light and sound, and I was only dizzy and inattentive with my serious concussion. Being sensitive to light and sound means that you get bothered by bright lights and loud sounds. Our psychological health or mental health is affected, especially with CTE, because it may give us suicidal thoughts or depression, which are very serious illnesses. Some of the parts of our psychological health consist of our attitude and perception of reality. CTE and or concussion can very well alter or conflict with those intangibles. Concussions also affect our intellectual health. Part of our intellectual health is your ability to seek knowledge and level of achieving our goals. Concussions do not completely tarnish your ability to seek or increase our knowledge, but it could set you back. If you are out of school for a certain amount of time, it could affect your grades and your knowledge of the content in school. If you are out for a particular sport for an extended period of time, it could stop or discontinue your goals and aspirations for however long you are out on injury. With a concussion and or CTE, our emotional health is altered. It could change our ability to cope, it could lower or fluctuate our self-esteem, and it could give us various mood swings. Finally, our social health is affected. With a concussion, mood swings are commonly experienced, and that could change the way we interact with one another. Also, if someone is having a bad day and has a concussion, the way we talk and interact with someone could be very negative and or hurtful without the person knowing they're being this way. Concussions affect our frontal and temporal lobes of the brain. Those control our motor function, problem solving, memory, language, initiation, judgment, impulse control, and social behavior, which is basically all of the dimensions of health I just mentioned. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't play football, you shouldn't play rugby or wrestling or whatever. Just be aware that getting a concussion is a very serious injury, and that you should listen to your doctors with whatever they say, because they know what they're talking about. And if they tell you to be out for a certain number of time, then you should respect what they say and not try to go back on your own and injure yourself more. Along with your heart, your brain is the most important thing in your body. If your brain stops working correctly, then your body stops working correctly. And that could lead to multiple things that you don't want to happen. So just be aware that once the number of your concussions start to rack up, then you might have to stop playing the certain sport you're playing just to keep your body and yourself healthy. just so you don't injure yourself more to the point where you can't function anymore, and that's obviously not what you want.
Over the rim, 3rd and 6, the blitz, and the throw incomplete.
And you stick your helmet right into his.